in mind that your success is directly related to the five following components. You must be focused on enhanced visibility of the marketplace. We are heading into a relative recession. So as we're moving into it, we do have to be careful, and we have to understand that capital raising is harder, finding deals is harder. The market's been more and more compressed, so there is work but there are deals and there is capital being released. It's just in different places, not the same place you looked for in the past. You must focus on growth in times of recession. You must focus on growth in times of scarcity. This is the greatest opportunity for all of us. We were just talking about this with Ken Ingram a little earlier. Carpe diem, seize the moment. This is the year. This is the opportunity. The thing you've been waiting for is now. So everybody who said I was waiting for real estate, waiting for this, waiting for that, this is the year, 2024, 2025. It's not a very long or big opportunity. It's going to be very small because there's a lot of investors in the marketplace. Scalability. If you are not scalable, if you buy the one property you need this year and you can't buy the next one, there's an issue. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to solve that today in the principle, and then maximizing your profits. This is the fifth component of 2024. You must maximize the things that you already own so that you can get the max out of it. So welcome back, alchemists. This is the 52 Weeks to Wealth. My name is Walter Morello. We've been traveling through this journey now for 11 weeks. We are at 11, wealth principle number 11. And this principle is double down on your marketing. This is a business principle. We're going to be going a little more tactical than the mindset stuff that we've done in the past. Show of hands if you've been here with us for more than 1 year. This is not your first season. Excellent. 2 years, more than 2 years, not your second season. 3 years, more than 3 years. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Who here has been here 5 years? OGs from the beginning. Let's give them a big round of applause. This is a very special wealth principle. The Russian princess is back from Russia. And she told me this morning, this is her anniversary for the 52 Weeks to Wealth.
Huh?
This was the principle that she started the whole game with. She remembers very specifically that 5 years ago, she stepped into our office in Fall River, and she was the only one in the room because it was so cold and almost nobody showed up, and COVID had just started. And she was there for wealth principle number 11, double down on your marketing. When I said it this morning, she's like, oh my God, this is my anniversary. This is the first wealth principle I was a part of. This was the one that started it all for me. So let's give Dorina a big round of applause. She's become a huge part of the community, obviously a major part of my life, my main part of my life, and she's really helped us get to where we are. I recognize a lot of faces that I love to see on the call. I see Peter Brown. He's not been in here for a while, so let's give him a big round of applause. Another OG from back in the day when we were investing in Fall River specifically. So this wealth principle, each one of them, it's a journey, right? We're here to double our income, double our net worth. Show fans still committed to the cause, doubling your income, doubling your net worth. Excellent. We do it every year. It's a simple math equation. If you could get this far last year, then all you have to do is set the goal of what do I have to change to get to the next level. Now, this component of marketing never, ever goes away. There are 5 components to being a successful real estate investor. The first being business acumen. You must understand business. Show of hands if you understand business. You grasp it? Excellent. The second one is communication. You must have communication skills. And third is networking. You must have a network. Without people, there is no money. All the money you want is in the hands of other people. Show of hands if you know that to be true. Yeah, all the money you want is in the hands of other people. The money you have is in your hands. You already have it. So the new money, the fresh money, the new assets, somebody else already owns. The fourth one is multifamily. Well, I'll say the fifth one is multifamily real estate investing. And the fourth one is your ability to grasp your motivation, to inspire yourself to go do stuff. Show of hands if you've ever been depressed, didn't want to do things, and nothing got done, right? Yeah. So your ability to trick the pony to get yourself motivated, to inspire yourself to go to a direction is one of the most important components. And sometimes I even start with that. So this wealth principle is a business principle. This is one of those components that with it, you can scale your real estate business, you could scale your personal business, whatever your business stream of income is, you can scale it using this. We're going to focus heavily on the real estate acquisition side of things. Show of hands if that's okay. If I focus on finding off-market properties at amazing deals. So that's what my focus is every year going forward as a real estate investor. I'm always in acquisitions mode, always buying, buying, buying. So I want you to do the same thing. Number one, challenge that we face as real estate investors if we don't double down on our marketing is we end up with limited visibility of what works. We don't know how to find new clients. We end up with less money. We end up with stagnated growth. So number 2 is we end up with stagnated growth where in a time of recession, sometimes marketing campaigns just fizzle out. They just die. Like has anybody ever noticed that? Like something was working for you and then just stopped? I'll give you an example. Like in 2019, we were using meetup.com as our primary source for finding new investors, for finding new deals. We were teaching a wholesaling boot camp. Who's heard me say, teach what you want more of? Have you ever heard me say that before? If you haven't, I'll say it now. Teach what you want more of. This is one marketing strategy that works very, very well. You teach the thing you're looking for. So if I'm looking for deals, I teach wholesaling. I teach how to find off-market properties. And if I'm looking for capital, I teach how to passively invest in real estate. And if I'm looking for people to do the work for me, I teach how to invest in real estate, how to actively invest in real estate, how to efficiently manage, how to do asset management. So we don't want to have stagnated growth. So we're going to double down on our marketing. Number three, missed opportunities. There are opportunities across other people's tables right now that could be going to you, but they're not going to you because you haven't had that conversation. You haven't put yourself out there as the person who to send those deals to. In fact, a hotel came to me last night and they were asking me to raise capital of $1.5 million and put 1.5 into the deal and then give me access to the GP side. They give me 10% of the equity of the entire deal just for going out and putting some of my friends' money into it. Or they'd give me 70% access to the deal if I just put my own money into it. Show of hands if you understand, that's a great freaking opportunity. That's fantastic. It's a hotel deal. It's something I wouldn't have to manage. They just need a little bit of money to get started. So doubling down on my marketing and building those relationships has created that opportunity for me. I want you to have the same at the end of this call. Number four, difficulty scaling. If you've ever noticed that your business slowed down or stopped, you weren't able to get to the next level, it's because you either weren't marketing for support. Sometimes you need to hire people, so you weren't marketing for staff. Or two, you weren't marketing for more clients. Some of the reason we stop scaling is because we don't have clients to go to the next level. So we're scared of the bills and expenses that might come with it. Show of hands if you ever experienced either one of those, a lack of funds from clients or a lack of support to support more clients. Okay. And number five, lost profits. The money that comes from marketing should be 5 times what you spent. So if you're not spending on the right marketing, you may get a lower return. You may get a 50-50. That's not good, right? You may get a double. That's okay. But marketing dollars should get you a 5x return. That's traditional what companies will spend to make sure that they're getting the best return on their investment. Show of hands if you've ever seen that before in your own life. You've hit it, right? Excellent. Who here would love to hit it again? All right, so this goes back to what we're going to talk about today. Double down on your marketing because one, marketing sometimes changes. An ad can get fatigued. A concept can get fatigued. An idea can end up not working anymore. You can sell something for a long period of time, pushing it hard in, let's call it Facebook ads, and then one day, Facebook ads don't work. In 2017, we were doing that with meetup.com. See, what happened, 2019, what happened was all the world stopped doing live events. The whole world shut down. Boom, pandemic. Remember that? Show of hands if you remember the pandemic. Nobody could go out, masks, except for Florida. Florida didn't change shit. But the whole rest of the world was like, we're not going to talk to people. We're going to stay indoors. And so meetup.com became a vacant hallway. People were still going there, but there were no events, nothing. Everything was canceled. All things were canceled. And so what we did is we went and we put online events. And what I noticed was that if I put a second online event, I'd get 40 people in the room. And so if I put a third online event, I get 40 people in the room. And if I put a fourth online event, I get 40 people in the room. Show of hands if you're catching the theme. So I started putting more and more events on every single week. I made them weekly events. And the first event was buy real estate to cash flow and get rich. And so I got a lot of real estate investors who wanted to buy real estate. The second one was the wholesaling boot camp. I got a lot of people who wanted to bring me deals. The third one was be the bank. And I got a lot of people who wanted to be the bank. I got a lot of people who wanted to be passive investors. I created buy your business, build a business to profit. And I got a lot of people who had very successful businesses who wanted to be more profitable. And I kept creating events. And I ended up with 7 events, including obviously the 52 Weeks to Wealth, which was our funnel where we drive everybody back to retain and develop the community. Now, this funnel worked for 6 months. For 6 months, we were pulling at 200 people a month, 300 people a month, just brand new, fresh faces, bringing them in. And then one day, it went from 300 people to 30 people in a month. And it went from 30 people to 3 people in a month. Just a drop down of new faces just suddenly stopped because somebody else had figured out online events. Other people started using the concept of online. The whole world started shifting to the internet. And so our online marketing strategy for Meetup had died, just overnight, fizzled out. And we had to make a shift. We had to pivot. And for 2 years, we worked on that. With 2 years, we were looking for different marketing strategies. I'm going to share with you today what we've discovered after 4 years of being in this marketing space of finding off-market properties where other people weren't able to find off-market properties. Show of hands if you're committed to doing whatever it takes to get your off-market deals. Excellent. As long as they cash flow. By the way, show of hands if you agree, you will never buy something that doesn't cash flow. Excellent. You'll do whatever it takes to buy things that make money. Yes? Excellent. And we also commit to doing all of our deals morally, ethically, and legally. True or true? All right, good people. Then we'll continue on. The first is the second part of doubling down is not just trying different things, but expanding and reviewing the things that did work. There is three things that we found that do work in this market. There are also very many things that do not work right now, or they do work, but they take extreme amounts of capital, skill, or effort to make them work. So I'm just going to share with you the ones that are very low maintenance, low effort, low cost. Is that okay? If I show the ones that are most effective and happen to be low maintenance and low cost. So the first that is a no-no, a stay away from this, would be mailers. Mailers are extremely expensive. They're extremely time-consuming, and they also are direct to the seller. I don't like going direct to seller because it's extremely inefficient. I would much rather have somebody else go direct to seller because that means I'm just having a conversation with one person who could be talking to 100 people. So if that makes sense. In a marketing situation like this market, I need a much wider base. So we're doubling down our marketing, which means we're going to much wider spaces. So you want now people in between you and the seller so that you can reach out to thousands of sellers. So we're now working with wholesalers and working with realtors. This is how you find off-market properties in this market, especially in the multifamily space. Who here is a multifamily investor? Show of hands if you know multifamily is better anyway. Excellent. Even if you're a small multifamily investor, 2 units, 4 units, 6 units, that's a great space to start, and you should. If you're doing, mobile home parks, I'll count you as a multifamily investor as well. So the second one that I don't think you should do is door knocking. I think it's a terribly inefficient source of marketing. It's one of the worst time sucks for marketing. The only time there's a space for door knocking is if you know for sure the person has what you want. You've already had conversations with them and they're not talking to you anymore. If that's the case, you show up to their damn house and you have a conversation with them. Mitch Jorsky knows exactly what I'm talking about. He was in conversation with a guy, talking, bang, 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 and then dried up, stopped. That's the time where you go down to their house. That's where you go and you door knock. But most of the time, I would say it's one of the most inefficient ways. The way people teach it, the driving for dollars, the door knocking is the most inefficient style for finding off-market deals that I have ever seen ever in the history of real estate investing. And I have done almost every marketing strategy that there is, including this one. I'm telling you, it's the lowest return on investment. Show of hands who commit to not door knock unless you've been in communication with them. You had to send out a private detective investigator to get them. That's when you door knock. Like if it came down to massive amounts of like finding this person, that's where it makes sense. Otherwise, don't do it. Super inefficient. And lastly, the third one is Facebook ads. Totally wrong. Do not use Facebook ads to find off-market properties. You'll spend a ton of money and you'll never find deals. Show of hands if that makes sense. Excellent. So let's shift into what is working. The first thing that I noticed as a real estate investor this year is that the relationships I already had were the relationships that were bringing me the most deals. The relationships that I had already connected with wholesalers, with realtors, and with my own personal community of students are where I've actually drawn the most amount of people. So masterminds that I've been a part of have been my biggest return on investment. Best deal so far has been Greg LeBlanc. We just closed 35 units out in Decatur, Illinois. Greg literally was two things. One, he doubled down on his marketing by paying me to go market for him. And then two, he became a great marketer himself. And he found this deal. He found another deal. He's found now 4 fantastic deals for us. One is 80 units. The other one is 48 units. And the one we're doing right now is 100 units. And these are like off market. Nobody knows about them. Amazing, amazing deals. Show of hands if you like that concept. Somebody doing the work with you. Now, Greg is in a mastermind with me. So that's one of the places that I found him. Number 3, number 2, marketing. So the first one is follow up with my existing network of people who already likely have deals, relationships. The second one we found is live networking events, which is where I met Greg in the first place. So if I think back, I met him and I've met many of you at live networking events. And then later on, we started building a strong relationship, and the follow-up with you has been my strongest source of deals, capital, partners to do work for me. So I want you to think about the same exact thing because I'm not using social media. I want to be very clear. My social media is not how I get my deals, but the relationships I've made in person are how I've gotten my deals. So I do have an unfair advantage. I have multiple people who are out there looking for deals. Show of hands if you're also connected in Alchemist Station and you have multiple people who are out there looking for deals. Yes, you do. Time to tap into the leaders, right? So this is my second principle. Third principle is go to the source of the networking group, the source of all the resources, the source of the deals, the capital, and the money is the leader of the networking group. Let them know what you're looking for. That person knows everybody in the area. Now, the reason I share this, the reason I say networking groups is because in-person networking groups are much better than Facebook communities. Show of hands if you've ever been in a Facebook community and had a hard time finding deals because there's 10,000 people and they're looking at the same deal. It doesn't make sense. That's not off market. That's basically on market. In these small networking communities where there's 20, 30, 40 people in the room, the leader is having one-on-one calls. They know what's going on. They're building relationships and they're constantly thinking about what you said they're looking for because they're thinking about what everybody says they're looking for. Show of hands if that makes sense. So my best favorite marketing strategy that still works today that you don't need to be great at social media on, that you don't have to be, well, you do have to be a decent communicator, but you don't have to be a great digital marketer for sure, is to go out to live networking events and connect with the leader. I'll say that again. Live networking events and connect with the leader. I'm about to go to a live networking event in Austin, Texas, Arizona. We're going to go to Arizona, Phoenix, I think. And Greg LeBlanc is the one who turned me onto this event. He won't be able to go with me. So I'm inviting whoever in Alchemist Station would like to go with me. It's an event called Raise Fest. And the event is run by Hunter Thomas, who is the author of the book, Investing, let's see, Capital Raising for Real Estate Investors. So I'm going because what I've learned is capital raisers have deals. I have access to deals. The people in that room are going to have deals for us, and they're going to need somebody to raise capital for. We have a great community full of capital, and so we know where we're going to find our deals to deploy our capital. Show of hands if that makes sense. Also, a community of capital raisers might have extra capital, so if I do need something for one of my deals, I probably will be able to build relationships out there. I'm inviting anybody who wants to come with me. I'm not paying for your flight. I'm not paying for the ticket, but if you come to Raise Fest, I will hang out with you and we will go and we'll network and we'll divide and conquer. And we're going to learn together from the man, the myth, the legend, Hunter Thomas, who I think Mitch Jorsky is going to have to get on his podcast because it makes a lot of sense to bring him on now because he's going to be promoting his event and he'll love to have a little extra exposure. And for me, he's the leader of a massive community. And so that makes sense for me to talk to that leader. Show of hands if you're grasping. I'm still doing the same thing I'm teaching you, just doing it at different levels, different places. The local events will bring you what you ask for. So spend more time at local events, be at as many as you possibly can. The Recession Proof Challenge just ended this week. So let's give everybody who was in the challenge a big round of applause for showing up. Congratulations. That's a marketing challenge. It's 21 days of marketing information, marketing accountability, and marketing resources to get to the next level. We talked about accelerating your growth. When you get scared in the marketplace, not you, because you don't get scared, you're an alchemist. When other businesses get scared in the marketplace, they pull back on marketing. That's the first expense that people cut. And it is a good idea to review your marketing and cut the ones that aren't working. But you have to keep marketing going. If you're not going to spend, then you got to put time into marketing. If you don't invest in marketing, if you don't invest in your sales side of your business, you will die. Like it's inevitable that eventually the business will die. You must be constantly recruiting, constantly bringing in new clients, constantly bringing in new staff. Salespeople, right? My favorite people to hire are salespeople because they generate business. Show of hands if you've heard of Alex Hormozy, familiar with $100 million offers. All he does is talk about salespeople. That's how he increases a business's production is to bring in sales. Now, a salesperson wants marketing, right? If you bring in a bunch of salespeople, they don't have leads, they can't work. They can't do what they do best, which is talk to people. So your marketing system has to be strong. It has to be tight. It's one of the reasons we use Alchemist Connect because it's a marketing system so we can put people in and then we can contact them and build relationships. If you don't have a CRM, my strong suggestion is use your cell phone as a CRM, right? If you don't have something, like just call through everybody that you have and start marketing that way. The fourth part of marketing, the first one was your database that you already have, right? Review everybody and ask them for what you're looking for. Hey, who do you know who owns a large multifamily? Who do you know who might be looking to sell? And then the second one is going to live networking events. And the third one is just go to the leader, right? You can go to live networking to find deals for sure. And I think you should. You should be in the room like doing that. But go to the leader. That's the third step is go to the leader and you're going to find the most active, like instant access to what you're looking for. Who here likes when Amazon sends you stuff immediately? It's like almost better than going and shopping for it yourself, right? The leader's kind of like the difference between you go to the venue and you shop around, or you go to the leader and you let them shop around for you. So France, we're getting the difference. Makes a lot more sense. Now, the fourth part of this is scale. The fourth part of this is how can you reach out to more leaders in different networks, in different markets, and drive them to know what you're looking for, to incentivize them. And what I've come up with is sponsorship. So we currently sponsor 30 events across the country that are Alchemist Nation events. We also sponsor 10 other events that are not Alchemist Nation events because they are a genuine, amazing source of leads. So my strong suggestion to each one of you is to sponsor if you're capable of also making money through your business that way, or from being a real estate investor, sponsor events that other people are running. Sponsor events that somebody else is doing all the logistics to keep the event coasting for you. But because you're a sponsor, you get access to the relationships, you get access to the leader. And so it gives you an unfair advantage without having to do a ton of work. You just show up to the event and create that sponsorship. We've found that it's a cheat, it's a hack, it's a way to um, take advantage of somebody else's network that's already there and deliver value. They're looking for a little bit of funds to pay for whatever it costs to get their event going. So when you sponsor, now you get access to the whole network. If you're smart and a good educator, because this just came from Vinny Chopra, by the way. Vinny told me this. He said, how you attract the best people, the best deals, the best capital, and the best partners is you educate them on where you're going. You educate them on what you're doing. You educate them on what you're good at, and you will be the person that they want to work with. That's the best marketing advice I ever got. And Vinny gave it to me again, literally this morning. He said, "Hey, Walter, I was thinking about the wealth principle, and this is how it works. It comes down to educating the best people. Educate him on your thing, on your strategy, on your system, on your deal, on how you invest. So when I say double down on your marketing, I'm asking you to become influential. I'm asking you to become an educator. I'm asking you to become a teacher of what it is you do so that you can increase your existence on this planet, increase the amount of people you impact, increase the amount of money you bring in, increase the amount of deal flow you have. By the way, the number one reason for doubling down on your marketing is so you don't buy shit deals. If you only have one deal in front of you, you're going to try to do everything you can to make that thing work. If you have 100 deals in front of you, well, now you just pick the best ones. Show fans if you understand what that's like. You're just, you're just picking and choosing. The number one reason people buy shit deals is they don't have an alternative. So my strong suggestion this year, 2024, is to double down your marketing. That means reaching out to the people who already have access to all the deals and finding a way to add value to them. If it is something as simple and cheap as sponsorship, oh my God, do it. If it's something as simple as and almost free as volunteering, volunteer. If it's something as simple as showing up to a free networking event or spending the 30 bucks or 40, whatever they charge you to get in the door. I mean, the one I'm going to, obviously, they're charging me like 800 bucks to get through the door, but it's worth it to me because of the quality, the caliber of the room. Spend that if it's in your budget. If it's not, adjust your budget to the level that you're capable of handling those relationships. Does that make sense? I don't want you to spend money you don't have. I want you to be very cautious this year. I want you to be intentional this year. I want you to be high energy. If you don't have money, you can't cheat, right? Money lets us cheat, lets us, do unfair things. If you don't have money, then I want you to spend time with the leaders. I want you to spend time reaching out, adding value, be a volunteer, do those things. If you do have money, sponsor. If you have even more money, pay for masterminds. Jump into markets and networks that already have gathered the highest caliber of people. And that's an unfair advantage, a way for you to speed up the process. To double down on your marketing is to get around the people who are already having what you're looking for. Show fans we grasp that this makes the simplest path. You're spending money on you. So the only thing that could make this fail would be you. Or you're not spending money on a digital marketing website or an advertiser or lead like mailers. You're not spending time on door knocking or going, across driving for dollars. You're spending quality time on your network And I'm asking you to spend quality time on your communication skills because what's the point in getting in front of a bunch of people if you don't know what to say? So get in front of them, know what to say, and drive them into the belief that you're the right person to invest with, which if you don't feel that way, I'm going to ask Doug to make sure that we feel that we are the best person to invest with. We do have a training coming up that is now virtual that we're going to open up to everybody who wants access to it. It's called Master of Influence, where we're going to be teaching you, showing you how to communicate, to raise capital, to find deals, and to inspire people to work with you, but also how to be magnetic, how to draw those leaders to you, how to draw in people so they have conversations with you and they bring you deals. Show of hands if that's something you'd be interested in. It's called Master of Influence. It's 3 days, so 12 combined hours, so 4 hours a day for 3 days straight. Dorena knows the dates. No, I know the dates. It's February 2nd to the 4th. It is far more affordable than the event I am going out to right now. It is $197 for the virtual component. If you're in Mastery, it's already included with what you're doing, so you don't have to worry about it. And it will be from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock each day. So in it, we'll be talking about presentations, how to create your presentation. We'll be talking about articulation of a deal, how to explain a deal. So a person knows why they need to come down in their price, how to negotiate. In fact, Ken Ingram was literally just sharing his story of knowledge around the mortgage piece of why, the price of the seller had to come down and keep dropping it and dropping it. And we're going to be talking about how to show an investor that you're the right person to invest with if you're looking to either raise capital or if you're looking to build your GP team and you need people to do some of the work, how to inspire and attract and hire the right people. So influence is not this social media stuff where I'm like, hey, become an influencer. Influence is how do you inspire a person to work with you? How do you inspire a person to sell you a deal? How do you inspire a person to come and look for you? Now, we will go a little bit into social media because your influence is now impacted by social media. 10 years ago, I would have said your website, but nobody looks up your website now. They look you up on Facebook. Show of hands if that's been true for you, if you've done that for others. So we will talk a little bit about what influence has to look like there because it is necessary. I agree with you, Mitch. Yes, let's get Hunter Thomas on the podcast. Alchemist Station podcast is back up and running. Mitch Joyce, he's crushing it. Now, every week we do have a book of the week. This wealth principle, double down on your marketing, is a non-negotiable for Alchemist Nation. You all have committed to doubling your income and doubling your net worth this year. Show of hands if that's still true. Excellent. And we've also committed to each building 100 millionaires. Show of hands if you're still on the mission, still helping other people, still willing to build. Excellent. So in order to do that, we must be known. We must be seen. We must be heard. So we must double down on our marketing. And when you're doubling down your marketing and you're feeling like, oh man, I don't know if people want to see my message anymore. They do. Somebody does. 1/3 of the world loves you no matter what, loves your message, loves your mission, loves what you're doing. And it's true, 1/3 will hate you no matter what. They can't stand real estate, they can't stand you, and they can't stand what you're doing. Then there's 1/3 out there who's confused. They think they're fine just the way they are. They have no clue how valuable and important you are in their life. And so you just forget those two, and you only focus on the people who love what you're doing, love you no matter what. That's where you double down on your marketing. Show of hands if you understand. More deals, more people means more opportunities. Excellent. We're going to carpe diem this year. Now, this year, every week, every 52 weeks, me and Mike Shine, we sat down and we looked at the books. We said each principal has a book that goes with it. And Ron Boley, my business partner for 8 years now, has said a long time ago, he said, every book only has one principle it's teaching you. Like a great book has one principle. It's really digested and explained really, really, really well. And so we chose books that went with the 52 wealth principles. Now, these 52 wealth principles, you'll hear people say there's 3 principles, there's 2 principles of success, there's only one thing you need to know. Although that can be true, these 52 are very, very micro principles. Each week builds on the next week. So I'm going to ask that you focus on doubling your marketing this week because next week we have another principle that is equally as important and will need equal attention next week. Show of hands if that makes sense. Awesome. So before we do the book of the week, next week's 12th principle is number 12. Alleviate a frustration experienced by a large group of people who are willing to pay enough to make it worth your effort. Next week's principle has components to it. It's many laws within a single principle. So it will be work for us to get through. It can be a little difficult to explain because there's lots of components to why that is so important. Each one of those 4 steps is key to understanding why your business will be successful. So fans, if you agree, it will be successful. There's nothing that can ever come into your way. Excellent. Without further ado, this week's book of the week is presented by Michael Shine, the holistic attorney, our keeper of the books, the closer. Mike Shine, let's give him a big round of applause. Book of the week.
Woohoo! Hey, Walter. Hey, I was looking, I just want to say a quick hello to Melanie Santos. Melanie's OG, and Dorina was there. Dorina said she was the only one there, but I met her in that cold, freezing first floor. So I know maybe she just came afterwards for lesson 10, but I met her in Fall River. Anyway, this week's book is Gary Vaynerchuk's Crush It. And it's just interesting that you say, Walter, that Ron said there's only one message. And the message is basically the title of the book, just crush it. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk's parents had a wine selling company. And he took it and he said, let's go online with this thing. And I think it's like T. Harv Eker that says that every master was once a disaster. But Gary talks about that all the time. He says, go back and look at my first few YouTubes, or I don't know if it was YouTube, but he was online and he was not good. And he puts them on his website now so that you can go back and see that someone like Gary, who absolutely crushes it now, has so much influence, is so smooth in the way he talks, and his message is just so clear and awesome, was not good when he started. And I just love that message because I know a lot of us, when we get online, we get a little nervous and think that everybody's looking at every fault we have. But like Walter said, a third of the people are going to love you, a third of the people are going to hate you, and who cares about the people in the middle? Just go out and do it. And so, God, this book is great. It's got a lot of advice. I mean, some of his stuff is a little old now, but from a point of just being inspirational, Gary Vaynerchuk, he just absolutely crushes it. There's a little wordplay in there about crushing grapes for wine. He took a $3 million company and turned it into a $64 million company at the time when he wrote this book. So I highly recommend it. It'll really get your courage up. Every master was once a disaster, including Gary. And yeah, it's a great book. Crush It, Gary Vaynerchuk. So double down on your marketing. Thank you. You're muted.
Michael Stein, yeah, you gave him a round of applause. He is the holistic attorney. He's the keeper of the books. He is the closer, and he's helped us make millions of dollars. Especially last year, we sold a lot of real estate through his office. So very thankful for all the work that his team has done for us. Now, as we're going into this next session where we do a little bit of mindset training, where we're going to go and do a little, we'll call it meditation. I'm going to ask if you're driving to stay with your eyes on the road. Don't close your eyes. Don't do any of that. The stuff we're going to do here is designed just to accelerate you. Everything that we've said today, we're going to lock it into your brain using something called accelerated learning. Or guided meditation, where we lock in the things you've already learned. For those of you who are new to Alchemist Nation, I do recognize most of you, but I do see some new names on the side there. You probably came through either a Facebook ad or a YouTube ad. This is a free training we'll continue to do, and you have access to many resources at alchemistnation.com and ibuildmillionaires.com. So for everybody who's been a part of this, I did tell you that there's a spreadsheet. Whoever was here early, the people who came in at 9:40, I told you there's a spreadsheet that I've been working on for our partnerships in Alchemist Nation. Show of hands if you'd like to see what that is, how we pay each other, how we make money from our real estate investment deals. Excellent. So this is actually me doing a little bit of marketing. I can't share because somebody is sharing already. Oh, Doug, do you mind if I take over just a quick second before? Perfect. Also, let's give Doug a round of applause. He will be leading our meditation in just a second. So this spreadsheet was something I'd put together because we're doing deals and asset value was $5 million. So we were saying, how do we divide up the value of all the different fees? There are 6 ways we make money in real estate investing as a operator, as a general operator. The first is the acquisitions fee. The second one is the refinance fee. The third is a management fee. The fourth is cash flow. The fifth is equity. And the sixth is the disposition fee. At the sale, we end up getting a disposition fee. So the question I was getting recently was, well, who gets paid what? And it depends on the activity you're doing inside of a deal. So acquisitions typically is more heavily weighted towards an acquisitions fee and typically doesn't get equity. But because we want more deals, we're also offering equity for people who bring us deals. Show of hands if that makes sense. This is a part of our marketing, is to incentivize other people. Underwriting. This is something that I prefer Mitch Jorsky does for us, but if somebody is doing really great underwriting, we tend to pay a little bit for doing that. And you see the fees on the side of a $5 million deal are substantial for somebody who just underwrote a deal really, really well. Loan and refinance. Typically, we'll pay an equity component to this because we need them in the game to stick around longer. And they also get fees, the acquisition fee, the refinance fee for having done the work. Because if they don't refinance, we don't make money. Show of hands if you understand, real estate is dependent upon the cost of money. Yeah, if it's expensive, it's not going to work for too long. The capital raiser will typically get 20% equity from the deal that we're doing, as well as acquisitions fee, refinance fee, and management fee. These are all different percentages. They can change, by the way. This is just our structure for right now. You can change your structure. You can have 3 people in the deal. You can have 2 people in the deal. You have 1 person in the deal, and everything goes to you. The fifth role is asset management. This is a super important role, and this person stays in the deal for the entire time. So they do get a chunk of equity. They are not involved in the acquisitions fee because they weren't involved in acquisitions. They come on afterwards. And you see that is one of the higher paying roles because it's the longest term role aside from the general partner, who typically has to have a net worth that is more than the purchase price of the deal itself. So the key principal or sponsor, as they're called, ends up having to have kind of a lot of responsibility. If something goes wrong, it's all on them. Show of hands, we understand that can be a big deal. So they get a part of just about everything, but they're the biggest part with the disposition because they finally get paid at the end, but they're also getting a big part of the equity. So it's this is how we have our structure set up. You can do it however you want, but bring us a deal and you get a piece of the deal. Show of hands if that makes sense. Bring us capital, you get a piece of the capital side. The partners, the limited partners, they get 70% of the deal. They get 70% of the equity and 70% of the cash flow. Show of hands if that makes sense. Excellent. So before I bring Doug in, there is a request I'm going to make. I want to actually give you something. Who here likes the idea of me giving away thousands of dollars this weekend? That's a cool concept. All right. So I was talking to Dorina, and she said, I was like, how do I give stuff away? Like, what could I give as a task so that I can then reward my community? And it has to be marketing. It's like, Dorina, it has to be marketing. Like, it has to be something that, goes in line with the principle today. And I was like, what if I give away sweaters? Because sweaters are marketing. Dorina, can you show us the sweater you got there? The Alchemy Station one? Yeah. So sweaters have our brand on it. So for people who are wearing our shirts on our calls, it strengthens the brand. It lets people, oh, there's Dina. She's got Alchemy Station right there. Perfect. So like strengthens the brand. So I said, okay, sweaters are a good plan. Let's give away sweaters, but what's the activity they could do? And as we were talking about it, I pitched the idea of a testimonial, but we've done testimonials in the past where they just send us the videos and then we don't really do anything with the videos. So I was like, well, how do we make sure that things get done? So everybody who does a testimonial that is informative at the beginning, it can't be just like Alchemist Nation's the greatest. You have to be like, you are missing out on a huge opportunity to cash flow more by not buying real estate. Here are the 3 things that make real estate great: equity, appreciation, and amortization of the loan. And you know what? The 4th one, the bonus, depreciation. That's like money you don't have to pay taxes on. And if you want to learn more, go to alchemiststation.com. I learned all about these 4 and more. And you can go to the link or click the link in my bio. Go to Alchemist Station Facebook group. Show fans if you understand how to add value in a reel, not just be like, yeah, stuff that nobody wants to hear. You got to create interest. So something compelling, have some fun with it. When you do that, tag Alchemist Nation's Facebook page, and we will make sure that we mail you a sweater that is your size. So we're going to communicate with you, find out your mailing address, and we're going to ask you what your size is. So if you're uncomfortable with your size, don't don't participate. But if you want a hoodie and you are okay with sharing your shirt size with us, then we're going to send you a hoodie and do a testimonial and tag Alchemist Station, the Facebook group. If you're not a friend of Alchemist Station, not following, you won't be able to tag. So go and follow Alchemist Station, the Facebook group. I'm sorry, not the Facebook group. Follow the page, Alchemist Station, the page itself. It's different from the group. But I'll give you points for either one. I don't care. Either one. Either one's fine. Just don't post the testimonial in the Facebook group. Post it on your page or post it in another group. But make it a reel, because reels are what draw new attention. Reels go out to other people, not just your friends. So we want it to be a reel so that it counts in markets. By the way, that's another marketing tip for you. If you want to increase your follower count, create valuable content in reel form, and that will drive in more followers. So fans, if that's valuable, yeah, some of you have businesses where that makes a lot of sense to know that. So I want you leveraging that today, this weekend. This weekend only, probably Saturday only, because Sunday nobody watches anything on social media. So Saturday only, just create a quick little video. If you're wondering how to create value, go to ChatGPT, figure it out, right? Just ask what the script should be. Go simple with bullet points, read whatever it says, and then say it in your own words. Remember, people love lists. So 3 or 4 things, and deliver that value. Show fans, if you know the assignment, I want to send you a sweater. I want to keep you warm this winter. I know it's been chilly all across the country, so I want to send you something to keep you warm. I want to give you a little hug with some cool swag. 1, let's give everybody who's going to do it a big round of applause. And 2, Doug McGurk, it is time. He's going to, if you were driving, please keep your eyes on the road. I want you to be safe. A lot of times guided meditation will put you into a state where you're not paying attention to the things that you're doing. So I want you to be very, very careful if you are driving. Keep your eyes on the road. You can listen to this later. It is recorded. It's out on Facebook already. For those of you who are going to participate, understand that this is guided meditation. It's only going to move you towards the things that you want to do. So whatever you have in your mind already, this is just going to lock in the memory of everything we just learned and lock in the accountability and the confidence that you're going to need to go and take the action steps that are required. Show of hands if we have permission to walk you through a accelerated learning process. Excellent. In that case, Doug McGurk, they're all yours.
Right. I'll give Walter some love here. Very nice. And Darina, welcome back. Sorry, you're probably back before I was. Sorry, I was on a cruise. I know Larry Steinhaus, he got the full internet package so he could join you last time. Kids. All right. So good morning, everyone. So why don't you go ahead and
Our echo is not going long enough. Looks like we're missing some of that echo.
do we need more? That's right. So as you take a nice, big, deep cleansing breath in, roll your eyes up to the back of your head till you feel a little strain and relax. That's right. Take another big, deep cleansing breath in. Tense all the muscles in your body. Tense them up, tense them up. Tense your stomach, tense your butt, tense your legs, tense your fists, tense your face. And relax. That's right. Now, with your eyes closed, imagine yourself in the heart of a vast forest where the light dances through the leaves, creating patterns of shadow and illumination. And here, in this stillness, you recognize the forest as your marketplace. And each ray of light represents a path to a potential customer or prospect. Someone to build a relationship with. And with every breath you take in now, you become more attuned to the rhythm of this forest. The gentle rustling of the leaves speak to you of opportunities, whispering the secrets of the wind. You sense the interconnectedness of everything around you, understanding that just as nature doubles its efforts in the spring to renew itself, so too must you double down on your marketing efforts to renew and invigorate your business. As you walk through the forest, you come upon a clearing where two paths converge. As they converge into each other, inviting you to embark on a journey twice as focused, twice as determined. You step onto this path with embedded commands to your subconscious. Merge your paths, amplify your efforts, and let your message reach far and wide. The trees around you stand tall and firm, each one representing a pillar of your marketing strategy. Their branches, laden with leaves, are the many channels and techniques at your disposal, ready to double in their reach as you command them to expand and multiply. So as you connect even more to God or your higher power, say these affirmations aloud or in your head. I am committed to doubling my marketing efforts, and my success is inevitable. My marketing strategies are effective and multiplying, reaching new audiences every day. I am bold. My marketing is fearless, and my message resonates with power. Flexibility in my strategies is my strength, allowing me to adapt and thrive. And as you journey deeper into the forest, you reach a stream, and its surface reflecting your image. And in this reflection, it's almost as if these questions are automatic as you answer them, as you enter your reflection. Why am I so successful at doubling down on my marketing efforts and results? How does it feel to see my audience grow and my message resonate with so many? How do I continue to be so remarkably flexible and bold in my approach? And you realize that the stream is simply a metaphor for your marketing flow. Continuous, ever moving, and full of life. It doubles upon itself, growing wider and more powerful, just as your influence and reach expand with every marketing initiative you launch, every event you attend, every call that you make. You affirm to yourself, with every action, I double my impact and my presence in the market. I am a magnet for success. My marketing doubles in efficiency and reach. Your journey through the forest is a journey through the depths of your business acumen. And as you prepare to leave the woods, you carry with you the knowledge that doubling down on your marketing is not just a strategy, but a natural progression towards growth and abundance. And as you start to represent yourself to the room, start feeling the floor on your feet and the chair on your back. You return to the world with the certainty that your marketing efforts are doubling, just like the branches of the trees reaching out and touching the sky. Your business, your passion, and your message are spreading far and wide, doubling in presence, doubling in impact. So remember, you have the power to multiply your efforts, to amplify your voice, and to double down on your marketing with grace, elegance, and certainty of nature itself. You are now ready to step forward with the wisdom of the forest, the strength of the trees, and the flow of the stream guiding you to the success you deserve. Come on back.
So for those of you who are new to Alchemist Nation, Doug McGurk trained with Tony Robbins for 3 years, actually was one of his coaches and trained hundreds of, well, thousands of people across the country on how the 6 human needs work, on how to better improve their lives, move themselves towards action, and doing the things that are best for them and their families and their communities. If you're familiar with Tony Robbins and that mission, then you understand that Doug is a heart-centered coach, trainer, speaker. He primarily focuses on teaching people how to clearly communicate their message in a influential way. And he will be a part of Master of Influence, which is coming up at the first week of February. Show of hands if that was a valuable situation just now. Guided meditation is important. It's impactful. I found the more I study this mind thing, which it seems like real estate investing is all about how my mind works and the deals that I do and the people I communicate with, it seems that yoga has actually had a more profound impact on my life. My practice with yoga has actually had such a profound impact. I looked back. By the way, show of hands if you know I'm doing the year of yoga now. I'm literally doing yoga every single day as part of my year of legs, continuing as part of my physical body training, is continuing. Yoga is not something new to me. About 6 years ago, I actually started doing yoga. I just wasn't as consistent as I am now. As a real estate investor, it helped me define myself in the moments of high negotiation stress, of financial turmoil where I owe people or banks $2 million, $2.5 million, and tenants aren't paying. Remember COVID? Remember the moratorium where my tenants decided they didn't have to pay and the government also agreed with them? And I didn't miss a single mortgage payment. My mortgage payments were $25,000 a month and rents had dropped, but we never missed a mortgage payment because of a singular determined focus on serving our investors. Show of hands if you can make that kind of commitment to always pay your investors, to always run the property. We didn't lose a single property. We've never lost a property. We've never sold at a loss. Every single property we've ever sold was at a profit. There are 3 rules to real estate investing, so you never lose money in real estate investing. Show of hands if you know what they are or would like to hear them again. All right. Here's the deal. It is impossible to lose money in real estate as long as you follow these 3 rules. Number 1, never over leverage a property. To over leverage a property would be to borrow more money than the property can sustain debt-wise. Number 2, never sell in a down market. The reason people lose money in real estate is because they're forced to sell in a down market. There are 5 things that will force you to sell in a down market. I'll talk about those in a minute. Number 2 is never sell in a down market. Number 3 is keep your properties cash flowing. Fill your tenants, fill your units, Replace, evict tenants that are not paying. So remove delinquency, increase occupancy, keep the building full with paying tenants, and you'll always be able to keep the property. Now, the 5 things that could force a person to sell in a down market: death of a family member could force you to sell. Disease of yourself or a family member could cause you to have to sell because the property is no longer important anymore. Show of hands, you know what I'm talking about. But suddenly that doesn't matter to you. So death, disease, drugs, because your mind ain't right. Your mind's on drugs, or a family member could be on drugs. That could be another reason that you end up forced to sell the property. Number 4, denial. Denial of your situation, denial of how uh, the market is, denial or understanding of real estate investing, denial that you need to put tenants into your place. Denial is a dangerous reason that people will sell property in a down market. And the 5th one is divorce. I have been through one and didn't sell my property. I sold everything else. I borrowed. I did whatever it took to keep my property. And that's the reason I'm still here in the game today. So those 5 reasons could prevent you, that could force you to sell in a down market. Don't do them. The easiest way to prevent divorce is to work on your shit. Get yourself together. Get yourself right. And disease, work on your body. Death, something is going to inevitably happen. Make sure that you've set yourself up in case of the death of a loved one. Denial means staying educated. What we're doing here, keeping yourself sharp, aware of what's happening in the marketplace, sharpening your skills on how to fill units. And the other one, well, what is it? Disease, denial, death, drugs. Simple. Stay away from drugs, friends. There's no point in doing them. If you want drugs, start yoga, start releasing endorphins the way that the body was designed to. Do guided meditations, do activity, have great people around. One of the best ways to release oxytocin in your blood system is to spend time with family, friends, and people who believe in what you're doing, and tribe and community. So if you want to live a very long time and make a lot of money in real estate, just follow those 3 rules. Show of hands if we understand. We're always going to follow those rules. Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. Very smart. Now, every week we open up the questions. We ran a little late today. My fault. I really wanted to deliver a valuable training because if you miss this year, it is on you now, right? 2024, the opportunities of 2024 are here. There is no waiting. There is no, oh, I will wait till things get better. No, you have to make them better now. You don't have a choice. 2024 is here. The market opportunity will be small. It will be short. So you have to capitalize. There is no other year to do this. There is no, I wish I invested in 2008. Yeah, I wish I bought more too, right? 2024 will be the same thing. After 2024, you're going to say, I wish I bought more. I wish I bought more. I wish I bought more. We're going to say it for years. It's the same thing I say about 2008. I wish I bought more. I say the same thing about 2012. I wish I bought more. I say the same thing about 2018. I wish I bought more. I say the same thing about 2021 and 2022. I wish I bought more. But I focused on building this community for 2024. And I did know that in 2018, I told Ron, I said, the only thing that's going to matter when this opportunity comes is that I have a large, huge reach of good people who know how to invest in real estate, which is why we focus so hard on building Alchemist Station these last 5 years. So now the opportunity is here. It's time for us as a community to seize carpe diem, seize the opportunity, seize the day. So the reason I push hard on this principle, double down your marketing, is because this is the time. There is no other time for us to invest in real estate. This is the one. This is the only one we were given. Show of hands if that makes sense. Can't go back to 2008, but we can leverage 2024. My favorite part of the 52 Weeks of Wealth is the Q&A. So I will stick around a little bit longer. For those of you who do have questions, for those of you who are about to go out and tackle your week, crush it, right? Enjoy yourselves. Be the best version of yourself. Make sure you get yourself a free hoodie and post the reel that just mentions Alchemist Nation. Give us some sort of testimonial and tag our Facebook page. For everybody who's jumping out, cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best. And for those who are staying in, let's unmute the mic. Oh, go ahead, Doug. Yeah. Always work with the best.
The best.
I love it. For those of you who are sticking around, let's unmute the mic. First to unmute wins. Those with questions get answers. And while we're waiting for people to unmute, Mitch, can you give us a rap quote? Rap quote for the principal. Double down your marketing. Go ahead, Peter Brown. We're waiting for Mitch, so it takes him a second.
No, I don't have any questions. I was just going to stick around for a little bit anyways. I haven't been in here in a while, so missed you guys.
Peter Brown. I think that would actually just be one of those awesome basic rap names like Rick Ross. Peter Brown.
It's
Downtown People
guaranteed.
Brown.
Speaking of Rick Ross, I guess Every Day I'm Hustling, right? Probably the perfect song for this wealth principle. But bonus book of the week, 50 Cent. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. Awesome book. Just finished it. 50 Cent is not the man who you think he is. Super, super surprised and impressed.
That's not like Robert Greene's The 50th Law, is it? With 50
That
Cent in
is
it?
a different book. Yes, that is 50 and
I haven't
Green
gotten
wrote
through
that
this one
together.
yet, but I did buy it.
Yeah, that's obviously more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Manual, as opposed to Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter is, his life and philosophy, and based on all his experiences. He's pretty transparent, shares a lot about his personal life. Um, but yeah, awesome book. And I love that he called it Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, because it's not just about hustling harder. You also got to be smart with that hustle. So everyone's always about like grind, 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 especially Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Keep grinding. It's like, yeah, but he does it smart as well. So that is the big takeaway. And there you go. Wrapped in the hip hop culture.
Let's give Mitch Jorski a big round of applause. He is my underwriter. He underwrites all of our real estate deals. So once Greg approves, because Greg does a quick underwriting, he finds properties. If he approves it, he sends it over to Mitch Jorski, the Scaredy Cat guy to real estate investing. Look, it's Phil. Let's give him a round of applause. Melanie's son is on the call. He doesn't even know. All right, let's take another question or another share. I know that I know this year is going to be epic, right? I know each one of you is really pushing hard, so I want to make sure that we're serving. Mike says, "Oh, Mike, you sent that right to me instead of to the group." But Mike says it's not about the grind; it's about your vibration, matching that vibration of what you want. And I agree. I agree. Your grind is we as human beings must grind. We must be active, but you have to feel passionate about what you're doing. Right? If you're going to go out and do something active, like Mike Shine loves mountain biking, that's his grind. I love weightlifting, that's my grind. Now I'm learning to love yoga. I also love, communicating with people, networking. That is a grind to me. I'm an introvert, right? So, going out to the networking events, speaking like this is exhausting. But the amount of reward I get from your success, from seeing you do well, the testimonials I get, the messages I get later on from like, oh man, that thing you said, like I went and I did it and like it worked out. Like I love that stuff. Like I live for testimonials. I live for your success. It is truly one of the most fun things for me to do is hear a person say, I did this because G said something. Like Walter said this thing, and now I'm like doing this thing, and my life is different. Like I live for that because I didn't have that when I was developing myself. There was nobody giving me free information. There was nobody uh, teaching, coaching programs. Like they're abundant now, but they didn't really exist when I was in the space. Like when I was starting, nobody wanted to give me information. Or at least that was my mindset, right? It's all mindset. I'm sure there were guys. Vinny was doing it. Vinny found a way to find mentors. I didn't have the capital to do it myself, which is why we do a lot of the free stuff, the live events, and uh, the connecting. So I love seeing your success. It really really drives me. What is what is a share? Mike is right, right? It is about your vibration, right? Vibrate at the right level. That's why our community leaders, they have to have abundance mindset training. Like we walk them through, we make sure that they have this belief system. They've read the same books as us. They're thinking at the same level as us. They're reading How to Win Friends and Influence People so they can communicate well with our tribe, to make sure that the people who are coming into our events feel like they're important, like imagine an Alchemist Nation event where the leader didn't smile or care about you. Like it wouldn't be one of our events. It'd be somebody else's event. Go ahead, Mike.
I think a really good exercise would be to just, if you could, every time you go into a negative thought, if you could just switch it to something positive. This is gonna sound a little weird, but I love my cats. Okay. So if something goes negative, I pet my cats, which are around here, and it makes me happy. And so just it's simple exercise because we were talking about this on the podcast yesterday. The human mind tends to go negative, was to protect us from being eaten by tigers or whatever, right?
Or bears.
Or bears or whatever it was. But if you could, but we're not being attacked by bears or tigers anymore. So every time you get that negative thought, if you can switch it and think of something, it can be anything. It can be your cats, it can be your pillow, it can be your comfy bed, it can be mountain biking, it can be yoga, it can be anything, but just work on switching, because if you can keep that vibration up, you're going to attract so many wonderful things. And if your vibration is negative, you're going to be attracting lots of negative things, and we don't want that. Right?
Give Mike Shine a round of applause. It's a very good share. Your mindset, right? I said I wasn't going to talk mindset on the lesson. That doesn't mean it's not super important for us to get our minds right, especially when you're marketing, right? To believe, like, who goes out and markets? You have to be a little crazy, right? You have to be out of your mind, right? To tell people that you're amazing, that you got a service, that you got a product, that they should use you over somebody else. Like, that's not how we're wired. We're not wired that way. So we have to get into our mind. We have to understand the importance of our message, the impact we're having on a person who, if they didn't have us, they'd have somebody else. And we know that other people don't operate the way you operate, right? We focus on really doing things the right way, to really make sure that every component of a person's transaction is done in a way that's moral, ethical, legal, and moves them to a better place. So there's a lot that happens here. And I've seen people like, Ken Ingram was having this issue this morning. He's like, I'm feeling guilty because, I'm getting this deal at such a great price because the seller just keeps messing up and the deal just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper as they keep, not fixing the building. And like, I'm feeling guilty. And I told him, and I'll tell you him again now, and I'll tell each one of you the same thing I said. And my belief system on this is, it's not your fault they're not a great operator. It's not your fault they're making mistakes. What is your fault, your challenge, your opportunity is that you can take them out of it. You can help them get out. Like, you have the ability to give them the capital they need and take the property off their plate so it doesn't get any worse. But if they keep making it worse, that's not your fault. That's your opportunity. And and Ken said, this is like, look, sell it to somebody else. This is what I needed at now. Like, this is now what it's worth. So you can sell it to somebody else or you can sell it to me. Either way, closing with us makes it easier, right, Ken? Because you're able to close fast, you're able to close efficiently, you're able to take over the property, you're going to do a good job with it. The next investor may not, right? The next investor may drive the property into the ground, right? Just because you got it at the right price doesn't mean you're a great operator. And I think that means a lot to a seller too, knowing that the property is going somewhere, that you're going to take care of it, that you're going to turn it around, they're going to do well with it. I've heard that many times from sellers that I've spoken to directly who I've purchased their properties. They're just glad somebody's going to do something with it. They're just glad somebody with that mindset, who cares about the city, who cares about tenants, is going to do something good with it. And that, it does go a long way to the sellers. Like, after they sell, like, I've beat people out because of my story about what I'm going to do with the building. Like, I have beat people out simply because of my story, because of my work ethic, because of the way I showed up. So think about what you bring to the table, each one of you. It's not just Ken I'm talking to, but each one of you, as opportunities come and as things get, the opportunities just seem like amazing. Oh my God, I can't believe, like, you're not taking advantage of people. You're taking advantage of the market. You're taking advantage of the situation. The market opportunities that are coming right now are yours if you choose to accept them. So there is a little mindset there. If you choose to accept them, they're your opportunities. You could also choose not to, and 2024 could also pass by. And the people who made the opportunities happen are the ones who are going to have the most impact. And I talk about it often in the Recession Proof Challenge, is like, you can get rich and have a huge impact, or you could go broke and have no impact. It's really hard to have impact without money. It's really hard to have impact without a network, without people who know you. It's almost impossible. There's a few people who we say did it, right? But even Mother Teresa had a massive network. She may not have had a lot of capital, but she had a lot of people who she was working with to get to help a lot of people. So just keep in mind, she never, by the way, why did Mother Teresa travel on private jets? She had access to capital. It may not have been her money, but she had learned the game of access to capital. Show of hands if we grasp. Access to capital is very important. Let's take a couple more questions. Go ahead, Mike.
If you're gonna mention Mother Teresa, I always have to stop because she was amazing. She would say, if something like, if people, you love people and they kick you in the teeth, love them anyway. So it's so perfect for today's message, because double down on your marketing, and some people are not going to like it. And Walter, I love that when I first started seeing you speak, and you had so many haters around Fall River. And then you said to me one day you were bummed out because there were no haters. Like people weren't hating what you were saying, and you were like, this is not good. I need haters out there. And Mother Teresa understood that too, People are gonna rail against you, but just go and love them anyway. Just go out there and double down on your marketing. Yeah.
Give Mike Shine a round of applause. It's true. I use haters as a gauge of my message going out far enough. If I'm not hitting haters, it's because I'm not hitting new people. So if everybody around me loves me, it's because I've already gotten rid of the haters and the nobodies, and I've just surrounded myself with the people who are like gonna do the mission with me. So no haters means I'm not hitting new people. I'm not in new relationships. I'm not in new contacts. Right. And the challenge, we talk about this. We say you got to reach out to 10 people every day. 4 of them are going to love you no matter what you say. So those 4 stay in your database and you work with them. The other 6, you just delete, get rid of them. But those are going to be the haters and the people who don't care about you. So we have to find and push into new relationships, new spaces in order to grow, in order to expand. What a great share, Mike. Give Michael Shine one round of applause. We got 3 more minutes left. So, it's a question, a share, something that you're impressed with, maybe somebody in this community, somebody that you are inspired by, or somebody who did well. Let's celebrate Melanie Santos for a moment. Melanie is now at 9 Subways, 9 Subway franchises, and last year she was at 2. She had flipped one, so she had 3 and then she had 2. So she was at 2 last year. This year, in a short period of time, by the way, it's been, her mindset has shifted. Her assets have all been piling. She's been building in the background for an entire 2 years and building in the background the capacity to be able to take on a whole bunch. And now she has 9 Subway franchises that are crushing it. And she's on scale to double by the end of this year, on scale to bring in 20. Show of hands if that's extremely valuable. Let's give Melanie Santos a big round of applause. She's absolutely slaying the game. They're still buying real estate. Her and Steve are still buying real estate. Owen and Lily are, loved. They're involved. Well, Owen's sort of involved in the business. He's around. Owen's around. He's doing his own thing. But Lily's seeing her mother. They're both inspired, right? Owen's done a flip. Like they're both inspired by their mother and the success that these guys are having. So your success leads to your children's success. Go ahead, Michael.
I always have to give you some credit there, Walter, because you're so freaking modest. Melanie is like OG, but she's been working with Walter for, right, Mel, like 5 years now from the start. Probably invested the most money, I'm guessing, with Walter, and it shows. They're super successful. And I'm not saying that to sell anybody on anything, but if you stay here, you become successful. That's what we've found. Is because let's give Walter a round of applause. I think he deserves it.
I love bragging about my favorite people. So
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Me
So we're
too.
clear. Melanie's close to 6 figures with me. She's really invested between me and my partners. She's over 6 figures in her coaching. So she's killing it. And it's not because of the money she spends, because of the action she takes. It's her mindset. I asked her the other day, like, what makes you one of our best examples of what a person can do? And she and I basically came up with this it factor. We were just like, there's just an it factor of whatever comes her way, she will do it because that's who she is. If it's the right way to get to her target, she does it. She doesn't, I mean, yes, she and I have cried together. She's done most of the crying, and I do most of it's gonna be okay. Building business is not easy, right? Each one of you knows that. It's stressful, it's work, it's hard, and it's emotional, but she finds a way to, through the tears, still go do the thing. Through the discomfort, still go do the thing. And it's an it factor. That's what we came up with at the end of the call. Is there's just some people who will just do it no matter what comes. Their family, their reputation is more important than anything else. And they've got to do not the reputation to other people, but their reputation with themselves. Right? Like I said, I will do it, so I will do it. The insanity that comes with that level of discipline, with that level of dedication to one's self, one's future, one's existence is enough to do just about anything. And I would say that about any of our OGs. Michael Shine, helped us build dozens of millionaires over the years. We're over 30 people confirmed millionaires that Michael Shine's worked with and helped us to build. Same with Mitch, and Melanie's story is a story we've used for years to inspire people. And now the story is getting better and better every year. Greg LeBlanc as well, somebody who came to the community 2 years ago, but now has really, or maybe longer than that, but 2 years ago we started working together really aggressively, and his story is proof that like you can, if you have the it factor, if you decide to have the it factor, you can become extremely successful. And the it factor means you're sticking to it no matter what. No matter what comes your way, you will be a better person. And we learn the lesson. We get seminars, right? All failures are just seminars, just lessons that we can teach somebody else one day. And we get the wins because we're continuously moving forward, continuously building great relationships. I love each one of these shares. I love the Q&A sessions. And I really love the fact that each one of you is so committed to your success, your family, and success in whatever capacity, whatever it means to you is the success I'm talking about. Not the money. It doesn't have to be that, just that, your body, your relationships, the full success, right? Full wealth. So when I say that, I mean, cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best. And I'll see you next week for Wealth Principle number 12. For those of you who are looking for, Doreena's hitting me now, if you're looking for the link to Master of Influence, which is February 2nd to the 4th, it is moi.alchemistnation.com. MOI stands for Master of Influence, .alchemistnation.com. It is $197 to register, and the return on investment you will get will be tremendous. It'll be more than 10x. It'll be more than you can fathom because the return continues for years and years because you're learning the master of influence, communication, and negotiation. So it is the one I feel the best about teaching. And I do ask that you be moral, ethical, and do all things legally when I teach you how to influence others. Show of hands if you understand. It's really important stuff that we're doing. And uh, I just want to make sure you're a good person because you can have a massive impact on other people's lives when you're influencing them. That being said, I know each one of you is, and I genuinely appreciate the relationship. I appreciate the impact you will have on people 5 years from now, the impact you have today, the smile you give a person, the conversation you give a person right after this call. Make sure that you spend some time with the people you love, recharge yourself, recharge them. You don't know what they're going through. And that's it. Remember, send me a reel, like, share, subscribe. I want to send you a sweater. I want to give you a little warm hug. Again, cheers to your success and your choice. I always work with the best. I'll see you next week. Let's give everybody on this call a big round of applause. Thank you, Mike Shine, the keeper of the books, the holistic attorney, the closer. Give my business partner, Ron Bowling, a big round of applause. He's done a lot of work with us over the last few years. Dorena, a lot of work the last 5 years. I'm not easy to deal with every day. So I appreciate each one of you. See you in the next one.